Did you know that walking, even though it's one of the healthiest habits we have, is no longer enough to fully protect your body after age 75? It sounds provocative, perhaps even discouraging, but it is a medical reality that many seniors across America are never told. For decades, we have been taught that as long as we keep moving, our bodies will stay strong. But the truth I see every day in my clinic is much more complex. My name is Dr. John, an orthopedic surgeon who has spent more than 4 decades caring for older adults across the United States. In the operating room, on the rehabilitation floor, and in those quiet, honest conversations that happen during follow-up visits, I have witnessed what aging truly requires and what it no longer allows us to ignore. I've treated patients who walked faithfully every single day, yet still lost muscle strength. I've seen patients who ate what they considered a balanced diet, but didn't realize their bones were thinning and becoming brittle beneath the surface. I have met countless seniors who felt their legs weaken or their balance falter without any obvious injury, and they simply couldn't understand why their dedication to walking wasn't saving them. What I've learned again and again is that the body responds differently after the age of 75. It needs targeted, medical-grade support.
At this stage of life, it's no longer just about movement. It's about the specific nutrition that protects the muscles, bones, eyesight, joints, and nerves that keep you independent. Today, I am sharing the 7 essential vegetables every senior should prioritize, not as passing food trends, but as medical tools that nourish strength where walking alone cannot. Once you understand how each vegetable supports your aging physiology, your daily meals will never feel ordinary again. They become a prescription for vitality. Before we dive into our first muscle builder, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you're ready to reclaim your strength, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. Let's start with the first vegetable that wakes up your legs.
After spending more than 4 decades watching patients recover from joint replacements and long rehabilitation stays, I have learned that strength in later life is not preserved by activity alone. Many dedicated walkers in their 70s and 80s come to my office puzzled by the same frustrating question. "Doctor, why do my legs still feel weak when I walk every single day?" The truth is that gentle movement is only half of the medical equation. After age 75, the muscles of the legs behave differently. They are slower to respond, quicker to fatigue, and far more sensitive to nutrient deficiencies. This is where spinach becomes a quiet lifeline. Inside every muscle cell are tiny engines called mitochondria that power your ability to rise from a chair or catch your balance. As we age, these engines weaken. Spinach is unusually rich in magnesium and natural nitrates that act like high-octane fuel for these cellular engines. Nitrates convert into nitric oxide, widening blood vessels and improving oxygen delivery to tired leg muscles. When my patients consistently add spinach to their morning eggs or soups, they often describe a steadier and more responsive sense of strength within just a few weeks. But while spinach fuels the muscles, broccoli safeguards the skeleton that holds you up. I have sat with countless older adults who believed their bones were simply destined to get weak because of age.
So I explained to them that bones are living tissue that constantly renews itself, even at 80. Broccoli is indispensable because it is packed with vitamin K1, a nutrient that plays a crucial role in directing calcium into your bone tissue rather than letting it linger in your bloodstream. Without enough vitamin K, the calcium you consume cannot fully integrate into your bone matrix. Broccoli also contains sulforaphane, a powerful anti-inflammatory that protects the cartilage in your knees and hips. When a patient tells me their joints feel less stiff, I know they've started nourishing their foundation from the inside. If you're still watching, please comment number 1 below. Now let's move on to the vegetable that protects your balance.
There is a small hesitation, a pause lasting barely 2 seconds, that occurs in nearly every orthopedic clinic when an older adult prepares to stand from an exam chair. That hesitation is the biology of aging in action. After the age of 75, the nervous system begins to communicate more slowly with the muscle fibers. The stabilizers around the hips often weaken first, long before we even notice a change in our stride. This is where kale enters the picture as a medical necessity rather than just a culinary trend. While many people discuss kale for detox, I recommend it for neuromuscular stability. Kale contains high concentrations of lutein and zeaxanthin, compounds that play a vital role in neuromuscular signaling. Our muscles do not move by physical strength alone. They move because tiny electrical messages travel from the brain to the nerve to the muscle fiber. As we age, these messages can become slower and less coordinated. Studies observing older adults have shown that diets rich in these specific nutrients improve the brain's ability to process motor signals, particularly those used in balance. When my patients increase their kale intake, they often describe a subtle but meaningful change. Their legs feel more responsive, as though they engage a fraction of a second faster when stepping off a curb or turning quickly. However, physical balance is only half the battle. You cannot stay steady if you cannot see the obstacles in your path.
I often hear patients confide, "Doctor, I just don't trust my eyes the way I used to." This fear of the ground shifting leads to the most preventable falls. Carrots are far more than a childhood cliché for good eyesight. They provide the beta-carotene needed for low-light vision and lutein to protect the macula, the part of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. Many older adults struggle in dimly lit hallways or restaurants where shadows blur into obstacles. By replenishing these nutrients, you are restoring the depth perception and clarity needed to judge a step or a rug accurately. When you can see the world clearly, your brain regains the confidence to lift your foot without second-guessing the ground beneath you. If you're still watching, please comment number 1 below. Now, let's move on to protecting the joints that carry you.
In my orthopedic practice, the story of aging is often told through the language of the hips and knees. These joints carry the weight of a lifetime, decades of walking, lifting children, climbing stairs, and pushing through moments of pain because life demanded it. By the time someone reaches 75 or 80, the cartilage in these joints has weathered more strain than most people ever realize. When inflammation sets in, it isn't just a minor discomfort, it is the slow erosion of your mobility and independence. I have watched active older adults begin to hesitate before leaving the house, not out of weakness, but because every step brings a sharp reminder that something deep inside the joint is no longer working. This is where Brussels sprouts offer one of the strongest medical defenses against inflammatory joint decline. These cruciferous vegetables produce a plant flavonoid called camphorol, shown to reduce oxidative stress within joint tissues. Think of oxidative stress as rust that accumulates on your cartilage, the smooth protective lining at the ends of your bones. As this rust builds, the cartilage thins and the joint swells. Brussels sprouts also provide plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, which exert a calming effect on inflamed tissues. For the senior whose knees stiffen after sitting for too long, this gentle reduction in inflammation can make daily life feel manageable again.
While sprouts soothe the joints, tomatoes shield the muscle fibers themselves from a condition called sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass. Tomatoes are the best source of lycopene, an antioxidant that protects your muscle cells' energy centers. In my observations, seniors who regularly eat tomato-based soups or sauces perform significantly better in leg strength tests. They report less day-to-day fatigue because their muscles are recovering more quickly from light activity. I've seen older adults regain total ownership of their bodies by supporting their muscles at a cellular level. A retired firefighter once told me, "I feel like my legs belong to me again." That sense of connection is the ultimate goal. If you're finding this helpful, please comment number 1 below. Now, let's look at the vegetable that stabilizes your energy from the inside out.
The most dangerous moments for a senior aren't always dramatic. They are the quiet waves of fatigue or lightheadedness that appear without warning. A patient might describe it as their energy draining all at once, or a brief dizziness that makes them stop walking. These moments are far more dangerous than many realize, because falls rarely come from sudden external events. Instead, they happen in the quiet spaces between movements, often triggered by low blood sugar or a lapse in neuromuscular control. This is why sweet potatoes are the final essential tool in our medical kit. Unlike refined carbohydrates that cause sugar crashes, sweet potatoes provide slow-releasing energy that keeps your blood sugar stable for hours. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at regulating glucose, leading to afternoon crashes that leave the legs feeling heavy and the mind foggy. Sweet potatoes close that window of vulnerability. They are also packed with potassium, which regulates the electrical impulses for your heartbeat and muscle contractions. When your potassium is balanced and your energy is steady, your legs feel more grounded and dependable. After 40 years of medical practice, the truth I want you to remember is this: your body is never beyond help. Even after 75, strength can return, balance can improve,
and your confidence can be rebuilt when we give the body the nourishment it has long been asking for. These 7 vegetables are not miracles, they are tools.
Each one supports a different part of the aging body: muscles, bones, joints, vision, and the energy systems that keep you steady on your feet. Walking remains vital, but your body needs more than movement. It needs the right fuel to sustain those miles. Your strength is not gone, it is simply waiting to be nourished. Take a moment to share one thing you've learned today in the comments. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a 1. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.